Hello, welcome to another toneless landscape oil painting demonstration. This is your painter in residence, M. Francis McCarthy, and the painting I'm bringing you today is called Early Autumn Path. And I completed this, well, I don't know if it's absolutely 100% complete, but certainly in a state that I'm happy to share it. Uh, did it yesterday, finished it yesterday, or got it to the state I'm presenting it to you yesterday. Now, hey, before I get much further in, I want to talk about the channel memberships. Um, you want to watch this live, which I think you probably would enjoy because there's, in the how can we put it, in the heat of the moment, there's a heck of a lot of good information being shared, and it's pretty reasonable. $5.99 a month. Of course, YouTube gets half of that, but it's fair. And yeah, so all you got to do that is click on the join button and you know go from there. Several of you have indicated that you're interested. Several of you have joined already, so I hope to see more of you there. And because I think the live videos are very, very rewarding and a lot more content there. Anyway, that said, we're going to make this a really cool 15-minute video. And I want to talk about today, well, I did this, we got a pretty, almost 1/4 of the length of the time this painting took. It was involved with what you see me doing now, which is basically the underpainting, and you often hear me refer to it as the drawing because in my mind it really is very much like drawing with a brush. I'm not concerned with color. As far as values go, I've only got maybe 3 values. On the Masonite, I only have 3 values. On a lighter color, I might be able to eke out a 4th value. Um, but getting that right is absolutely the essential to getting a good painting done, in my view. A lot of painters will just jump in with color and start doing things, and that can be very successful. There's a lot of ways to start a painting. This is a way that I choose to do it, and it works very well for me, especially in a scene like this, because it's basically kind of a woodland scene, and there's an incredible amount of complexity in the reference photo, which I need to simplify. I need to strengthen the compositional elements that are good and working, and really knock back the elements that aren't working. And that gets into the other thing I was talking about a bit on the live video, which is so this is what happened in the studio. I did this drawing slash underpainting and let it dry uh, for about 2 days so I could oil it out. In between that time, I did another painting in the studio based on some reference I'd had from, say, 2014. And I just made the most awful painting. I'm not sharing it, I'm sorry. But the reference image had problems, and I was going to go ahead and just change things, and I ended up just creating an awful painting. And the painting's still in my studio. I haven't thrown it away. I may let it dry and see if I can't turn it into something better, say looking at a master painting for some inspiration and reference. But either way, it was a catastrophe. And what I wanted to kind of communicate to you, if you're a painter, is really use excellent reference. Don't use reference that has a lot of problems, okay? And if it has a lot of problems, maybe try and fix some of those. Well, if it has a lot of problems, don't do it. But what if it just has some problems? You want to try and fix those, say in Photoshop or some other photo editing program, even if it's a little kind of chopped up looking. It won't matter so much because once you get it in, it's just grist for the mill anyway. It's just something that's designed to help you get a painting done. Yeah, and I do know this, and my Um, my references, definitely got, my eye for reference has gotten better and better and better over the years. And I have to say that's based mostly on just doing a lot of bad or inferior paintings. And it's to the point now that when I'm out in nature with my camera or my sketchbook, um, I already know what scenes aren't going to work because I've gone after them and failed, So uh, that's why, and there's a lot of ways to garner experience too. You don't have to make like big paintings like this. This is like I think it's an 8 by 16. Um, you could do bunches of little sketches, or you could do little oil sketches on paper or on board. Yeah, there's a lot of routes to go. Yeah, but the main thing is that you want to definitely be taking nature in, reinterpreting it through your consciousness, and trying to create pictures from it that are good pictures. And this is the best way I know to avoid doing bad paintings. And I have to tell you, it really stings for me when I do a bad painting. Um, because, by the way, I just gave you a tip that you would have caught in the live video on mixing my screen there. Everything is flying by, right? And you might think, oh, I don't have time for no 3-hour live video, but how dedicated are you to painting, right? That's a good question, isn't it? Are you really dedicated? Do you really want to learn? How much are you going to learn from listening to me burble over a 15-minute video? You will learn something. You will definitely learn one or two. In fact, I think I'm pretty good at getting kernels of knowledge across. But uh, with the live videos, you basically get the experience that one of my students here in the town I live would have, of being there, and hearing me say why I do this, why I do that. And anyway, we've covered that already. But I will keep hitting you on it because I want to keep doing the live videos, and I'm fine if there's 10 members. That's enough for me. That's you join the membership thing. It's basically I see you as a bit of a student. So instead of just doling out all that information to the entire globe, we pulled back a little bit. So we just had to do that. Okay, let's talk about, say, coloration in this scene. There was some pretty cool color in the scene in nature. It was early autumn, which is, you can see the name of the. What's cool about early autumn is there's a lot of greens, but the greens are definitely going with a bit more red. And what I kind of like about early autumn scenes as opposed to full out autumn is when it's full out autumn, it can be a bit OTT, like over the top, like everything's orange and everything's yellow and everything's brown, and it can look really fake and very synthetic. Whereas in early autumn, you have a lot of greens and the greens are going a bit red, and then you have some bits of yellow and some bits of orange, and it's exciting. And actually, I have to say, I'm really pleased with the way this painting came out. Now, in my photo processing stage, I definitely augmented a lot of things. The scene was far more pedestrian in the photograph that the painting is influenced by. I wouldn't even say based on, because I take a lot of liberties, and I'd say I'm really fond of this kind of scene. I'd like to get back to where I shot the reference and get even more reference. It looks like we missed a little bit there. I did, well, so I have to turn the camera on and off, on and on, on and off many times to do these videos. So sometimes when I speed them up, they turn it into the tiniest slivers. So that's when you see a little gap like that, that's why. Or sometimes I forget to turn the camera on. Other than that, let's see. Okay, so my approach was sky first, And in a scene like this, I don't think it's good to get real jiggy with the sky. I mean, you could have put a whole full-blown sunset scene back there or whatever, but I think you've got to in the painting. There's a good tip for you. You got to pick your battles. You got to decide what it is that's going to be the interesting thing. Interesting thing here is going to be the colors in the foliage, the overall composition, the path that we're following back into the woods. And I didn't see a great need to get real fancy with the sky. I did do, and you'll be able to perceive it on the, well, you can probably perceive it now because it's a high-res video. You can see there's a good variation in the sky. And I talk about that a bit in the live video, and how you get that sort of effect. And really, it's instead of just filling in your strokes, like a house painter, you want to have some feeling, and keep things varied. In fact, you want to do that at every aspect of your painting. Never say, oh, well, this is, I got 2 inches that I can paint solid green here. You don't do it. You want to always have variety, and an interplay of values and colors in every part of your painting, but you don't want to have it getting too crusty. And a lot of times what you'll see, like you see me doing it right now, that's a bit of paper towel in my hand. So I'll lay down some passages, like say I laid down greens, I laid down orange, I'm getting ready to put down some lighter colors. I might go ahead and hit it with the paper towel a bit to just kind of soften things in a gentle way. And because you don't want every part of your painting all, the term I always use is crusty. You don't want etched, strong edges everywhere. And this is something I kind of picked up from, well, it's common sense if you're really engaged with your work. But back when I was starting out, still starting out, say 2010, I invested in some DVDs from Richard Schmid, who's an awesome painter. And that was something I saw he would do, and I'd like to really rewatch this one day. They're in a box in the garage. I'll have to pull them out. He's got an excellent book called Alla Prima, Everything I Know About Painting. Kind of expensive, and he did a volume 2 that he kind of just added some things to volume 1, and it was too pricey for me to get into volume 2, but I like volume 1 quite a lot. And I highly, if again, make some investments in yourself as an artist. Really, uh, buying books on painting, that's a great one. Uh, um, there's some other good ones that I'm always recommending, like it's the Painterly Approach by Bob Rome. I think that's a great book. He doesn't paint in a tonalist manner, but tonalism is actually an approach to color and value. You can learn a lot from someone like Bob Rome, just about the basics of putting things together, as you can from me, and as you can in the live videos. I'm going to keep hitting you on that because, like I said, I want to get that membership up, and I want to get kind of a good back and forth going there. I think it's time. Yeah. Anyway, you can see we're getting into the payoff part of the painting right now, which is, when we start bringing in those lighter values. And you can see I held back. I built things up from the duller, more broad colors to more vivid and lighter as we go. And again, in the live painting, you'll hear that I'm not really sure. I'm starting to get a bit, I don't want to say fatigued, but you have only so much time where you're making good decisions with a painting. It's also really good to know when that is. But you can see me coming in with these brights, and it's after 2 or 3 hours of painting, and I'm saying, oh, I really want to go further, but I don't have much more joie de vivre to do it. So it's possible I might load this up on the easel again, but I'm also really happy with it the way it is. And as I've mentioned time and time again, every time you put that painting back on an easel, you're taking a big chance. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Thank you for joining me today. I'll be back real soon with another video. Meanwhile, please take good care and stay out of trouble.